Indy Boys Racing Podcast. We have a very special episode for you guys today. Every week is special, I guess. I don't really know anymore. Kind of not a whole lot happened this weekend. Not a whole lot of racing. We had a truck race that we completely forgot to cover last week. Sorry about that, guys. SRX return and then F1. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Got a lot of news on my part. Not a whole lot of Indy and F1 news in particular, but obviously we're going to go over all the races from this past weekend, talk about some motorsport media, get some questions going into next week, and then obviously do our predictions like we do every weekend. It's going to be a great show today. My name is Tristan Grider, joined with, as always, my incredible co-host Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox. How are we doing today, boys?
I'm doing mighty swell today. Canadian Grand Prix was kind of a hit or miss race. It was more of a fun strategy race more than anything, but in my opinion. But no, I'm doing pretty good today though. I'm excited for this episode. So yeah, how you feeling, Daniel?
I'm feeling all right. Obviously, I'm a little sad because IndyCar's on a break right now, and we know that makes me sad.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, like the racing we did get was still pretty good this week, so I wasn't really complaining. I would have liked IndyCar, but I know they can't do it every week. So, but SRX was back, and that makes me happy. So
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Like, SRX is back, guys. Like, it's just a good time. As I saw a tweet a couple days ago, sex is back, everybody, and that just killed me. But yeah, SRX Superstar Racing Experience, it's back. We have a lot of stuff to go over. Let's go ahead and transition into everyone's favorite segment. Let's go into motorsport media. All right. A lot of stuff that you guys are going to get wowed at this week on the NASCAR side of things. I'll just start off with some of the lesser stuff. Kevin Medieling, I don't know really how to say his name. He's an interim crew chief for Hendrick Motorsports. He's going to be Kyle Larson's crew chief the next 4 weeks as Cliff Daniels has been suspended. Dun, dun, dun. So that's kind of disappointing for Kyle. Oh, good old Kyle. But yeah, so that'll be all right. Some NASCAR silly midseason news. Tate Fogelman, last year's winner at Talladega, has been dropped by On Point Motorsports. That's the 30 team. And it looks like he's not going to be running a whole lot of races, but they did pick up a ride for Nashville this upcoming weekend. He's going to be driving in a second Rackley WAR truck. 26, that's Matt DiBenedetto's team for Rackley War, so good for him. He has been replaced by Caden Murphy due to sponsorship. So Tate Fogelman is out. Caden Murphy is in with a full sponsorship by Rowdy Energy. So there's that. Chris Hacker is going to run Nashville as well. He has Morgan and Morgan on this truck. He's just an Indy boy, so I got a report on him. And then Julia Laudinger, I think that's how you say her name. She's going to be making her Xfinity Series debut for Alpha Prime. So full sponsorship there. NBC has announced their lineup because guess what, baby? We're back on NBC.
Yeah.
Here this upcoming weekend at Nashville Super Speedway. It's going to be a lit race. In the booth, same as last year. Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, Steve Letarte, and Rick Allen will be making the call-by-call. In the, like, Hollywood Hotel or, like, the NBC, like, kind of, like, area that they have on the track, it's going to be Kyle Petty, Dale Jarrett, and Brad Doherty. And then your pit reporters will be Kim Kuhn. She's going to be in charge. So Kim Kuhn will be in charge. She came over from MRN. Then Marty Snyder, Kelly Stravitz, and Dave Burns, along with Parker Clearman, Dylan Welch, and in a new role, he'll be covering like the city life this year, Rutledge Wood. So he won't be at the track at all this year, but he will be covering the city life. Two more big news segments this week. The Chicago Street Course, it's looking like it's going to be 2023, baby. So we will be getting the first street course in NASCAR history, probably next season. However, one track's going to have to go, and as of right now, it looks like it is going to be Road America that is going to get the boot from the NASCAR Cup Series. Yeah, it's a major L, seeing as the Road America has been a top 5 destination for the Cup Series last year, and probably will be this year as well, because Road America, you can fit so many people in that track, and I really wanted to go, and I don't get to go this year, and that's disappointing. But hey, Chicago Street Course will be really lit. We'll definitely go if it's Chicago. Only 3 hours away for us, so we'll all go to that. And finally, the biggest news of the weekend, spoiler alert, but Helio Castroneves won SRX this weekend. In his post-race interview, he teased a Daytona 500 ride because the CEO of SRX said that if he won this season, he would fund a Daytona 500 car for him. And Helio went out and won on the first race of the year. That puts him.
He wasn't even scheduled to be in this race, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
He texted someone at like 10:47 the night before, and they got him a ride the next morning.
Yeah, he
That's
was like,
crazy.
he's like, do y'all have a ride? They're like, we have one. We don't have it prepped, but like we can get it wrapped if you want to race. He was like, I want to race.
And it's a beautiful picture, obviously, of him climbing the fence at Five Flags. But hey, Helio Castroneves might be making a NASCAR start. Don't know for what team, or if he'll like make a one-off for maybe like a Spire, or maybe like a just completely new team. You never know. Cup Series has been crazy these last couple of years, so we don't know who's in, who's out. Might be running for money.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Project 91.
I was gonna say that.
It might be Project 91. Obviously, Helio has full sponsorship from AutoNation. So you never know.
He's a foreign driver. He is a non-American foreign driver.
He is Brazilian, so
He fits the mold.
we could be seeing good old Spider-Man in the 500 next year. That'd be lit as hell. All right, that's all the NASCAR news I got. Let's go over to Daniel. He doesn't have a whole lot, but any silly season rumors?
Okay, so while I don't have any, well, this kind of doubles the silly season rumors, maybe. But I was looking into the testing that's going to be happening for IndyCar because a lot of testing is happening this month. I think there was some happening today at Iowa. So a bunch of drivers tested there. Trying to see how many. Yeah, it was 20 drivers participated in a test today. So almost the whole field. No like big shakeup names because obviously they're just testing for Iowa, which they're going to do a doubleheader on later this season. So that was just like gonna feel for that. Later in the month, there's going to be a test for IMS on the road course. That's going to be this week, I believe, this Thursday when the episode comes out. And so it's going to be all 4 of the current Andretti drivers because this is testing for this year's next road course race, not for next year. And then Kyle Kirkwood will be running with AJ Foyt, I believe. It doesn't specify, but I would assume it's with Foyt. And then both Pato O'Ward and Felix Rosenquist will be running it. So then that'll be about 7 drivers. Obviously, some more could be announced, but as of now, it's 7. But what's interesting is after that, the Monday after, they will be doing a test at Sebring International Raceway. Because this is a street course, like this is somewhere they tend to do testing, so people can kind of get used to like bumpy tracks such as like Nashville. And so they've announced 4 drivers. So three of these 4 drivers will all be the Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan drivers for this season. But one driver will be driving for Juncos Hollinger Racing, and that is Indy Lights driver Benjamin Peterson.
Ooh, Benny.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Benjamin.
Maybe Benny is a lock for that second Hunsko's car. You never know. But I'd prefer to see a veteran in there, aka someone that I really like. I don't know, maybe someone that has a really cool car. Maybe it's Dalton Kellett. Hey, I'd like to see. I'd like to see DK in that car, but that's kind of cool.
I don't really know what's gonna happen with that because obviously I don't know if it's a Benjamin Peterson testing with Juncos to be a Juncos driver in the future, or if it's more they want to get him in a Indy car to test Indy car in general. Because obviously we've seen drivers do that. Like plenty of the drivers that tested last year tested with multiple teams and ended up those teams. So We'll only see. I don't know because at some point I don't know when because it hasn't been officially scheduled that I'm aware of. There's going to be an AJ Foyt test at IMS. I don't know if that's the road course or the oval configuration, but they want to test out. I think they said at least 2 or 3 drivers for the 14 car because obviously Kyle Kirkwood is leaving next year for Andretti. So I wonder if Benjamin Peterson will be one of those because
Good
during the month of May
quiz.
we saw him with a lot of the AJ Foyt crew members. He was
Dude,
out there a lot.
we saw
So
Benny out there like it was kind of
yeah.
confusing because there were sometimes like I was like, there's this ginger guy that is on AJ Foyt, and I was like, why is Christian Rasmussen in AJ Foyt colors? And they were like, it's just another ginger guy, and I was like, that's kind of racist by me, but I mean, hey, I mean, I was just kind of like, wow, is that racist? I don't think that's racist. Is that
It's
more like
ginger cyst.
gingercist? Yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, so I would think like the 2 drivers off the top of my head that they would 100% be running is Benjamin Peterson and probably Linus Lundqvist.
Yeah.
I don't know how many specific drivers they want to run. I would think if they're running just Indy Lights guys, that it would be those two, maybe one other, whether that's like a Stingray Rob, someone else kind of in championship contention. I would also throw out the name Santino Ferrucci. I would think he's got to be someone thrown around for when teams are discussing someone to bring in for a full season on kind of a lower end team because whether you like him or not, he's pretty talented and deserves a ride. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens with that test, and obviously we'll keep everybody updated on that once we hear more.
All right, Jay, F1 news.
Okay, so the first thing we have for F1, apparently Oscar Piastri will be racing in Formula One in 2023. Also, as Tristan said, Project Dive Bomb, shout out to you guys. But the Alpine team principal, Otmar Zafnauer, I think that's how you say his name. It's kind of a hard name to say. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So sorry if I butchered that. But was asked, will Piastri race in Formula One next year? And Otmar said, yes, he will. So the rumor is that he's going to be going to Williams, actually.
That's what I was thinking. I was
yeah,
thinking he's going to go to Williams and replace Latifi.
yeah, he's going to replace Latifi. And actually, I've heard that along with that deal, Williams will switch to Renault engines. So that'll be pretty cool.
Anything could be better for them because
Exactly.
they're last in owners' points. They're having a absolutely like what's that word? Horrendous year. Yeah, they are just not good this year, and they're literally the Haas of F1, and Haas is doing good. Better, not good. They're doing
I
better.
mean, we knew this new car was going to shake things up a little bit. We didn't know Haas would be like an arguable like fourth or fifth best car on the grid, but it's arguable.
Fifth and sixth, baby.
Fifth and sixth.
In quals, not in the race. In quals.
Yeah, in the race it was different.
Shut up.
It's okay. My guy got taken out too, or well, not taken out, but he retired too. So.
Yeah.
Bad luck. He had bad luck.
But before the race at Canada over the past weekend, the FIA addressed the technical issue with porpoising. They said that the definition of a metric based on the car's vertical acceleration that will give it a quantitative limit for acceptable level of vertical oscillations. Basically meaning that's like the technical meaning for how hard it porpoises. So, but yeah, so basically the FIA can step in and they can say, hey, your car is bouncing too hard. You need to set your car to this certain limit so that way your driver is safe. Because after Baku, a lot of drivers were complaining about porpoising, their back hurting, and some people have even had nerve damage this season. So that's kind of crazy. So, interesting that they had to step in on that, and I'm glad that they are doing something because they could have just said, hey, just let them race and whatever, but they're not. They're saying something. So, next up, Australia will remain on the F1 calendar until 2035.
2035. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That's a crazy extension.
Remember, before they raced Bahrain got extended to 2036.
Yeah,
So
I
there's
just think it's
two.
crazy that
Yeah.
some of these extensions are 12 years in the future,
I know.
13, 14.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
It's insane.
That's a
But
whole teenager.
he said that's a whole teenager. But yes, Albert Park Circuit will be on the calendar for good, along with Bahrain now too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then finally, I got a fun fact. This is from Project Dive Bomb. Sainz has more DNFs in 2022, three. That's three of three DNFs than the 2020 and 21 seasons combined.
That's crazy.
He only had two in two
But
seasons
hey,
combined.
But hey, Signs P2 podium this weekend.
That's true. That's true. He's bringing it back. I'm
That
proud of him.
obviously doesn't matter, but still.
I'm happy for him though. He's bringing it back, and I hate seeing Ferrari struggle because I want a really good championship battle this season. But I don't know. We'll see later on.
Well,
in the
if
season.
Supermax keeps doing what he's doing, don't look like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess let's go ahead and transition. Let's go ahead and talk all about the races this past weekend. Start with F1.
Okay, so as Tristan said, we're gonna be starting with F1 at the Canadian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, of course, has been on a dominant tear, basically winning every race he's finished, other than Monaco. But you can't really count Monaco because you can't pass there really. So, but but every race that he can pass someone, he's won the race. Let's just say that. So lap one, the start was very clean, other than the fact that once again Hamilton and Magnussen has made some contact on the first lap. And can I just say, I really love Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It's like the perfect track, I swear.
It's so fun.
Oh my god.
It's very like
I wonder who it's named after. I wonder.
Did you know that
it,
Carlos?
it feels very like I don't know how, like it just feels very modern, I guess. Without like it doesn't feel like a track that has to try too hard
to
be a
catch
track.
up to date, yeah.
It just feels right.
Yeah. And I wish NASCAR would go back there. I really do. And even IndyCar
I'd love
would
to go
there.
back to
I would
Montreal.
love IndyCar going there. So, but yeah, lap 8 disaster strikes for Checo, and he has to retire early from the race. This brings out a virtual safety car. And then Verstappen and his team came in and pitted, which was probably the race-winning move to pit under that VSC because that kind of put him on an offset strategy to Sainz, and yeah, that kind of sealed the deal for him. Lap 20, another retirement. This time, the Haas of Mick Schumacher goes out of the race with a mechanical issue, and as said earlier, his teammate, after making contact with Lewis Hamilton, had to pit early for his wing hanging off, his end plate of his wing hanging off, and that was kind of dumb in my opinion, but I don't know. It is what it is. But, yeah. Just to make sure everybody's safe, I get it. But, yeah. Haas with a very, very bad weekend. And also, the tires
So
this
much
weekend,
pain.
yeah. The tires this weekend were, like, way too soft for the track. And I think...
Yeah, you noticed it too?
Yeah, yeah. And,
Yeah,
like, the hards were arguably more faster than the mediums. Because the mediums will wear out so fast.
Easy.
I don't know. It is what it is. Lap 44, Max makes his final pit stop on the of the race, and on the exit, Lewis, not seeing Max in his blind spot, almost kind of collides with him, and Max should have came out ahead. Red Bull kind of, I think they had like a little, like not a slow pit stop, but it was kind of off from what their normal time was. And he came out right behind Lewis, and he should have been out before him from what they were projecting. And Max was very mad over the radio about that. But luckily, nobody touched each other, and they both went on about their race. And honestly, there was a lot of battling. I mean, there was like a really bad DRS train for there for a while, but there was a lot of battling between like the front, like top 7. Outside of that, like everybody was kind of DRS train basically. Lap 49, Yuki Tsunoda ends up locking up coming out of pit lane and slides head on into the turn 2 wall and bringing out a full safety car. Lap 54, we go green again. Sainz hangs right with Max, and Carlos Sainz just could not keep up with the Red Bull. And it's just because the Red Bull is extremely fast in a straight line, and Ferrari does not have the straight line pace. They have more of a cornering approach to their car. But, yeah, they just could not get past that Red Bull. It's insane how fast that car is. So, but lap 70, the end of the race, Max Verstappen brings home his 6th win on the season. He's won 6 of the 9 races so far. So that's crazy. Points finishers: Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon, Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou,
I know,
Fernando
right?
Alonso, and Lance Stroll got a point this weekend. So
Yeah,
congrats to
I
them.
was kind of hyped for Lance.
Yeah.
He's kind of having a bad year as well, so it was nice to see him get there.
Yeah.
Only 3 drivers now without points on the year: Mick, Nico, and Latifi. Even though Nico's not full time,
Yeah.
but still, Latifi and Mick,
counts.
the only 2 full time without points this season.
Championship standings real fast. Max Verstappen is in 1st, Sergio Perez 2nd, Charles Leclerc 3rd, George Russell 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Lewis Hamilton 6th, 7th Lando Norris, 8th Valtteri Bottas, 9th Esteban Ocon, and 10th Fernando Alonso. So Fernando Alonso takes place over Pierre Gasly from last week. So that 10th place battle for the championship stand is going to be interesting.
This is not liked by Pierre Gasly.
That is not like
Certainly
Pierre
not.
Gasly. And
Yeah. Pretty
constructor
lit race.
standings. Constructor standings real quick. Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Alpine. And I got 3 questions. Who will be the person to break Max Verstappen's momentum?
Nobody. I don't think anyone will break it, and if it will be anyone, it won't be his teammate, because Red Bull's gonna put all their horsies into Maxi. And if it could be anyone, I know he's kind of down there in points right now. Give it to the guy that's in 4th, the only guy that has finished in the top 5 every single weekend. I'm talking about George's Russell, baby. I think if George gets a couple wins, finishes every race like he has done this season, obviously we have tons of races left in the season.
Yeah.
I think George Russell could make a late championship push.
Well, also.
I mean, do
go
you want to
ahead,
hear?
sorry.
Oh, okay.
you're
Well,
good.
do you want to hear a bold take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Mercedes had the same car as last year, like at least like kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
At least pace wise,
Yeah.
yes.
If
Yeah.
their car was about the same pace as it was last year compared to the other cars, George Russell would win the championship this year.
I can see it. Apparently,
That's not like a hot. That's not like a hot take. That's
I know,
ridiculous to
but-
say that. That's
Yeah.
like totally like true.
But also like it's kind of like weird to say, because I think if they had that same car, Mercedes would be putting all the eggs in the Lewis Hamilton basket,
yeah.
But
because like
I
they
wanna
did the
s-
same
oh,
thing with
okay, sorry.
Bottas. Oh no, I'm done.
Okay, I'm sorry. But I want to say though, apparently,
sorry too.
at Silverstone, Mercedes is supposed to be bringing a package that is supposed to gain them 7/10. So apparently,
I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
That's been said multiple times before this season, and it's not happened. So that could be false from what I've read. But apparently, that's what they're supposed to be doing. So you could be right. You could be right, Daniel. Both of you could be right, really. It's because you said George Russell too. So yeah, both of you guys. Could be right.
I'm not. I feel like if it's anybody this season, it's Checo.
Checo.
But I don't think it's like a permanent end to like Verstappen's momentum. I think it would be like a 2 race thing.
Okay.
I don't see him taking over for the championship. I think this is pretty much Max's championship to lose,
Yeah.
and it's going to be really freaking hard. I think like
Super hard.
if the standings of the cars were similar to last year, I would say it would probably be Russell. But I think if anybody's going to at least slow him down, it's probably Checo.
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of similar question. When do you guys think the top 5 streak for Mr. Consistency himself, George Russell, will end?
Low key, I don't think it's gonna end.
Really? You think it'll do
Maybe
it the
not.
whole
I
season?
feel like. I mean, shoot. Even if it's not a top 5 streak, it'll be like a top 6 streak. Like,
I think it'll end actually this upcoming race.
I was
at
thinking that too. I was thinking that too.
Great Britain. I'm
Yeah,
not
I was
gonna lie.
thinking
I
that too.
kind of not the best track for George Russell. I don't
also,
wanna say
he's
it.
in a pretty good car.
That's true. But I don't know. I was kind of
No
thinking
matter
that
if
too.
things go wrong. Yeah,
I
you were
was
thinking. You were thinking.
I was thinking
Great Britain
Silverstone.
too?
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking Silverstone.
Final question. AlphaTauri plans to keep Pierre Gasly. If he were to leave, where should he go? But he wants to be a top dog. But basically, like, every team that is, like, really good already has their top dog with George Russell. Well, I mean Lewis Hamilton, but George Russell being the younger guy now. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris. But if he wants to take another seat, any of the other teams are back of the pack teams that aren't necessarily as good.
Well, you know, McLaren might have an opening with some guy named Daniel Ricciardo possibly leaving. So I could see Pierre Gasly possibly going to McLaren.
Yeah, but he wants to be
Even-
head. He wants to be the head guy. He doesn't want to play second driver. He wants to be head guy.
But I don't place where that happens. At least
You go to
not
Aston
anywhere that's
Martin.
going to contend.
He
Yeah.
could go to Aston Martin. He'd be the head guy there. He could go to Haas. He'd be the head guy there. There's no Andretti. You know,
Yeah, Andretti.
you never know.
Dude, it's not going to happen. If Andretti goes, Herta's going to be that guy.
Yeah, but they'll have
like-
more than one car.
Well, yeah, but he wants to be the head guy. You think he would be the head guy over Colton Herta and an Andretti F1 team?
Yeah, he's liked by Pierre Gasly.
It would make me happy. It's like both my favorite drivers in their respective series. It would make me really happy. But I don't really know if I could see it happening if he just wants to be the top guy at a team.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But
He's kind of stuck in a weird loophole.
yeah, a little bit. I don't know. I feel sorry for him.
I
He's
feel
kinda-
bad, but also he kind of has to suck it up if he wants to be in a contending seat.
Yeah, he's gotta break that toxic attachment with Red Bull, in my opinion. Because if he doesn't, it's wraps for his career. So
Speaking
But
of
low
toxic,
key,
let's
I
talk
want
trucks. Speaking of toxic, let's talk trucks at Knoxville. So yeah, this race was stupid again. I hate Knoxville with trucks. It's so
I mean,
bad.
I think we all knew it was gonna be a meme race once we heard the harmonica national anthem.
oh my god,
I think Danny B said something about that. He was like, "Well, it's gonna be a meme race now."
Here's the thing. Wasn't as bad as last year.
I mean,
No,
that's not that
I
hard.
don't think
It's
so.
not that hard.
I think Fox's coverage might have made it pretty bad though.
Fox's
Yeah.
coverage sucked.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was terrible.
They missed
Um,
one flip and one near flip.
I don't.
But how
get
but how
they
many
do that.
how many fan shots did they get? You bet your butt they got all of them.
How do you have so many cameras at the track and none of them are pointed at cars? Like it
The
drives
track
me
is
crazy.
like this big. It's like this big.
Like Jessica Friesen, like barrel rolled down the back straight and nobody caught it. You had to go to a Getty's image, and the video that we have of it, we have a
Like
fan
it's barely
video
on it.
and we have a Getty's video, which is just a stop motion video of her flipping. Like we don't have
A
anything.
legitimate. A
And
legitimate.
it's God. NBC's back, everybody. But Fox will be on trucks for the rest. I have so many notes just about Fox. I don't want to read it. Hey, at least we're not doing Xfinity and Cup anymore with trucks, guys. Am I right?
That's true.
Anyway.
That's true.
Okay, solid race overall. Should they go back to Knoxville next year? No. Bring back Eldora, please. Listen, please, Marcus Lemonis. It's not
Yes.
Marcus, but it's who's in charge of NASCAR? Marcus Smith, pretty much now. Can we just go to Eldora, please? Pretty please. I miss Eldora, please. Can we go wheel dot track, please? But yeah, it's just I don't want to go there anymore.
Nah, I understand your pain on that. That's for sure.
Yeah. So overall, good race. Todd Gilliland walked away with the win. His first race ever racing for his dad in the Truck Series, and he won on Father's Day, pretty much. So that's pretty lit. So yeah, that's pretty cool. However, speaking of Fox, this is kind of I forgot to talk about this in Motorsport Media. but I feel like we should kind of mention it a little bit. Thoughts and prayers go out to Clint Boyer and his
Oh yeah.
entire family. Obviously, you guys know what happened. If you are in the motorsports community, all we say is just thoughts and prayers are with the family and with the family of the victim. Sometimes you can't avoid these things, but I hope that Boyer is. I don't really. I know we crap on Boyer a lot on this show just because we make fun of his style, but Clint Boyer genuinely one of the nicest guys that I've ever interacted with in the garage. So yeah, hopefully everything goes okay with that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Is that Toddy Gilliland brought it home. It was nice to see Todd in victory lane. Only his third, I believe, series truck win. So pretty lit for the full-time Cup driver to get back into victory lane. So yeah, that's all I got over here for Knoxville. Cowabunga, dude. We didn't pick for this race because we forgot it was happening. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any of us would have picked Todd Gilliland, so.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have picked Ben Rhodes probably.
Dude,
But
I
yeah,
would have picked Hocevar, let's be real.
I was probably gonna
yeah.
pick
Oh yeah,
Hocevar,
Hocevar
but
had an early
Cross.
retirement this race. The heat races were kind of cool. But Hocevar with an early retirement. The Nice trucks were just bad this weekend. Kind of sucks, but otherwise.
Speaking of Hocevar, did we talk about that all in Motorsport Media?
Oh yeah. I guess we could just bring this up. Hocevar
Yeah.
might be getting some Cup starts next season, as Nice Motorsports is looking to pull a GMS and go Cup racing. So Hocevar could be that guy. Obviously he is one of the most attractive looking drivers right now to any team, as he's incredibly talented. Just because he doesn't have a win, he reminds me a lot of Tyler Reddick.
You just got to get over that hump.
Yeah, he
And then
reminds me
once he gets there,
so
dude,
much of
he's
Tyler
going to win
Reddick.
so much once he gets that first one.
Yeah, he reminds me so much of Tyler Reddick in trucks actually.
Yeah.
If you remember, if
Yeah.
you guys remember with when Tyler Reddick was racing for BK, he just kind of had this whole mentality that was what it was going to be, and like that he couldn't get to the wins and that kind of stuff. But hopefully Hocevar gets over that hump and everything, and we'll get the wins soon. But hey, we could possibly be seeing Hocevar going truck racing. I'm guessing the number would probably be 44. The 44 right now is ran by NY, but I'm sure that Nice has more money than NY Racing does. So I would assume that it would be the 44. 41 wouldn't happen. 42 wouldn't happen. 43 obviously.
Could they just do a 40?
They could do.
We
40.
could see a 40. I didn't think about 40. Dean Thompson runs the 40 right now for them, so maybe we see a 40 truck. Obviously they want a 4 in there, so it is what it is. But yeah, Daniel, talk about Spidey winning into the SRX and 5 flags.
Alrighty, so SRX had their first race this season, and it was at 5 Flags in where is this? It's Florida. Why am I blanking? Pensacola. I wanted to, I wanted to say like, I knew it wasn't Daytona. Pensacola is one of those weird Florida cities for me, where it's like I remember it sometimes and then sometimes I don't. But anyways, getting off the topic of my brain being weird, we were in Pensacola for 5 Flags Speedway, and we did some SRX racing. If you're unfamiliar with what SRX is, it's the Superstar Racing Experience, and this is its second season. Last year they did their first season. Pretty much what it is a lot of veteran drivers, mostly big name drivers, kind of all doing this spec stock car series. So they all have very similar cars, pretty much equal shot, and it's more about the drivers than it is the car. And holy heck is it entertaining. It's such a shame there's only 6 races a season, because it's really good racing. I think probably easily race of the weekend, because I feel like it was kind of an off weekend for races. But SRX is always really good. It wasn't a super eventful race, I will say that, but it was definitely good. So the way these races work, so they do 2 rounds of heats. So they do 2 heat races, then they have the main event race. So the first heat race. Let's see. So the winner of this heat race was Bubba Pollard, who is one of their like
Short
short
track
track legends that they
races.
do. They do a local legend every race, where it's just someone who's
Bubba
popular in that
Pollard,
area.
however, has been around, so like
Yeah.
he's pretty
Bubba
sweet.
Pollard's a name that people recognize anyways, at least if you're like a hardcore fan. So it
A true
he pretty much
superstar.
everybody knew he had a shot to win. And he was in contention a lot of the main event, and obviously this first heat race that he won. The top 5 of this first heat was Bubba Pollard first, Tony Kanaan second, Tony Stewart third, Paul Tracy fourth, and then Marco Andretti fifth. Uh, and then the second heat race. Oh, also in the first heat race, towards the end, I think it was like with like 2 or 3 laps to go. Elio Castroneves spun Ernie Francis Jr. and that led to Ernie Francis Jr. having a lot of just kind of issues with his car for the rest of the night. So then in the second heat, uh, Ernie Francis Jr. was, I don't know if he started first, but he was somewhere in the top 3 at the beginning, and his car just tanked. Just it was bad. He couldn't pass anybody, and he was just sandbagging to the back. So it was pretty obvious that something was wrong with his car that had to do with that spin. So for the main event, I believe so. I missed this part of the broadcast because I was in the car, kind of in between the second heat and the main event. So I believe they moved him to a backup car because the paint was completely different and he was actually able to race. So I would have had a much better car than his wrecked hunk of junk that was his car after the first 2 heats. So in the second heat, the top 5 was Elio Castroneves winning, Michael Waltrip second, Ryan Newman third, Bill Elliott fourth, and Bobby Labonte fifth. So moving on to the main event, while there wasn't anything like super big that took place, I would say the big thing that I noticed was for a majority of the race, it was really between Elio Castroneves and Tony Kanaan with Ryan Newman up there and a lot of points. It was really between those 3 for most of the race. And it's I just love SRX because like when are you gonna see in the year 2022 2 guys who were in their prime in IndyCar in the mid 2000s and a guy who was in their prime in NASCAR in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and they're both in contention in a race with older guys, still kind of prime guys and younger guys. Like I just think that's really cool.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie though, I think Ryan Newman was in his prime until 2015. Like
Yeah, no, like I'm
that
not
guy,
saying he
that
was ever like out of
he
his prime early,
Jake,
but
he almost won a championship. He was
I
one
think it was
position
only
away from
that
a
year. I think it
championship.
was only that year though.
Hey, 6 race wins in 2000, what, 2? All the way up Daytona 500 win in 2008. Stuart Haas Racing, he was the second best driver on Stuart Haas for probably 5 years. Brickyard 400 in 2013, championship runner up in 2014 for RCR. He's a
Yeah,
legend.
I guess. Yeah.
He's not going to be a hall. He's not a Hall of Famer by any
right.
means. Um, but yeah, I'm just
I feel
saying.
like he was
Put
always
some
he was
respect
always
on the Indy Boys name,
Oh yeah,
okay?
he was always one of those guys that
I
like
love Ryan
was
Newman.
always like an A tier guy. Like never quite at that top level, but
I was also happy
always
to see him in
almost
the
there.
39 instead of the 12.
True. True.
39, that 39 car, those used to be sexy.
That is
My
true.
pop-up has a door of a Ryan Newman old Bass Pro car, 39, that will be mine one day. So yeah, that's really
Nice.
exciting.
Yeah, so in the end of this race, the top 5, I'll say the top 5, it was Elio Castroneves winning, so that was his first SRX win. In second, we got the local legend Bubba Pollard. In third, we got Ryan Newman. In fourth, we had Tony Kanaan, who kind of fell off after like the last yellow flag because they do kind of competition cautions. And then in fifth was Bobby Labonte. So my question that kind of like came from this has to do with Ryan Newman because I saw people talking about this on social media kind of during and after the race. So Ryan Newman was like very much in contention for a solid portion of this race. And last year he pretty notably got forced out of his ride at where
The
was
Cup
he? He was
Series.
Roush.
He was at Roush.
So I want to hear your guys' opinion. Do you think it was Ryan Newman that was kind of doing himself dirty in those last few years, or do you think it was the sixth car doing him dirty that got him kind of
A
out of
lot of people,
NASCAR?
a lot of people forget that Ryan Newman made the playoffs in 2019 in that 6 car. The last person to make the playoffs for Roush was Ryan Newman. Before that, it was Ricky Stenhouse in the 17 because he had 2 wins that year, right? But ever since then, 2020, obviously Ryan Newman near fatal crash at Daytona. 2021, all the eggs pretty much went into Chris Buescher's 17 car, and with Brad Keselowski buying a big portion of Roush Fenway to form RFK, Ryan Newman was gone because Chris Buescher was still under contract for another year. So yes, he was forced out of it, and it was Roush. Roush is not incredible equipment, as we've been able to see this season. It's still not good equipment. It's C-tier equipment, and it was not Ryan Newman, because you put Ryan Newman in that RCR car, he almost won a damn championship. You put him in those Stewart-Haas cars, he was a top 5 every weekend. You put him in the Penske equipment, goddamn, was there, but you put him in Roush equipment. You put Chris Buescher in underrated opinion. Chris Buescher would be winning races if he was in better equipment.
Oh, I agree with that. That's not even.
I mean, he was still in contention at like races like Sonoma.
The thing is, though, Chris Buescher wasn't like a road course guy. I don't know why he's like a road course guy now. He was like a mile and a half guy.
Super speedway.
Yeah, in a NASCAR Cup, he was in the super speedway contention when he was with JGT. Anyway, but yeah, it's Roush. So yeah,
That's the hardest guy to pass on any racetrack ever.
Any track. I don't support the guy by any means, but Matt DiBenedetto would have won in Bristol in 2019 if it wasn't for Ryan Newman.
That is true. But yeah, the hardest guy to pass on the racetrack ever. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could see that it was. So you can have an argument that it was Ryan Newman, but I think it was more Roush. That is what happened with it, because as Tristan said, Roush is definitely C-tier equipment, and it's not anything to be hyped up about. Like, oh, I'm getting a ride at Roush. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Hey,
yeah.
would I gladly take a ride at Roush Racing in the Cup Series? Hell yeah!
I mean, no, I would, but as a driver,
Yeah.
and as an actual driver, you should be like, oh yeah, I guess I'll take it to get in, but no, yeah. So yeah, it was Roush. It wasn't Ryan Newman.
Gotcha. And then my next question having to do with SRX. So we just saw a first-time winner in the SRX series. Who do you guys think is going to be the next first-time winner when it comes to SRX?
We just mentioned the boy, Ryan Newman. He's my pick this weekend at South Boston. But I should have picked him this weekend, but but I'm gonna pick. But Ryan Newman's gonna win next. That's my next guy.
Interesting.
What about you, Jay? What do you think?
TK.
What about you, Dan?
I was thinking TK just because I feel like last season we kind of saw him middle of the pack most of the time.
Well, he only did half the races last season, so
yeah, but
this year he's full time.
Whenever he did do the races, it was pretty hit or miss. But this season we've only seen one race, but he did really well. So I feel like I would probably go with TK. If not TK, did Bobby Labonte win last season?
No, he did not.
I think
Then
Bobby Labonte
I could see
win, too.
Labonte. I could see Labonte getting one.
Well, there you go. All right, so that was our races for the race reviews for this past week. Let's go ahead and transition into our predictions for next week.
Okay, so now getting into race predictions. Last week, Mr. Tristan Grider over here, he ended up getting a point for his Max Verstappen pick
Yeah,
at
it
Canada.
was an easy pick. No.
that is an easy pick. But none of us got one right for SRX, and then me and Daniel both heavily missed at Canada. I don't know how I heavily missed. I thought it was gonna go a different
Which one of you
way.
had Lando in the podium?
None of us
Oh,
had
one of you.
Lando.
Oh,
None
I
of us.
thought I
That was
remembered
like
someone
a
had
week
Lando.
before.
I mean, I had Checo as my runner-up, and
And then you had George Russell third.
but hey, George got fourth, so I mean, I don't.
You were close. You almost had 2 points.
I almost did. I need to get some more points on the board, but yeah.
And then our group pick was actually Ryan Newman, and we almost got that right.
Mhm.
That's facts.
And that's +5 to all 3 of us. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, that's like a rule, guys.
Yeah.
If we group pick, then we get +5. It's kind of like an equalizer thing, but like just kind of make the number get up there a little bit more. Okay,
Yeah.
only 2 tracks were at this weekend. However, 4 races: SRX at South Boston, NASCAR at Nashville, Super Speedway. That is not street course. That'd be awful.
God.
But let's
Could
go
you
ahead.
imagine?
I don't
I
want to.
couldn't imagine.
Let's go ahead and start with trucks at Nashville. Carson Hocevar is TG's pick this weekend. The 42. Daniel, who do you got at Nashville?
Hold on, I'm trying to pull up who's all in it. Do J first. I wasn't prepared.
Jay, who you picking?
Okay, so there is no 7 truck for this race, so I'm not gonna go with that one. Let's go with. I got it between 2 people right now. I guess I'm gonna go with Carson Hocevar. I'm going with Carson Hocevar until he wins.
Yes, there you go.
All right.
Do I go
And
with
finally,
an easy pick, or do I go with a little bit out there?
I mean, you could go pretty much however you want, man.
Oh, Tristan, who else did you say?
I said Carson Hocevar.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go Ben Rhodes.
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay.
Also, a bunch of cool guys that are going to be making a couple of their first starts this weekend. Max Gutierrez going to be in that 22, filling in for Austin Wayne Self. Got Brett Holmes returning. Caden Murphy, as we mentioned earlier. Chase Janes. Caden Honeycutt returning. Let's see. Todd Bodine going to race this weekend. PK. Justin Carroll is racing? What the hell? Dude, that's
I'm
crazy.
changing my pick to John Hunter Nemechek.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Xfinity time. Last time we saw the Xfinity cars was earlier in the month at Portland. They had a 3-week break, so it's nice to finally get to see those guys back on the track. This one's kind of bold. I'm going with Ryan Preece. That's my pick this weekend in that 5 car for BJ McLeod Motorsports. I have to. He won the Xfinity Series race. I'm sorry, the Truck Series race last year at Nashville. He's gonna go up a series and win it this year. So that's my pick. However, there's another guy on there that's this list that is probably gonna be the guy that Daniel picks. That's probably gonna win. So Daniel, just go ahead and pick your boy.
Baby, that's my pick.
I knew it.
48 car. We're going with it.
You think he's gonna go 2 for 2?
It wouldn't be 2 for 2. I thought he already had one that he lost.
I don't know, but
Because he didn't win Darlington.
yeah, Natalie Decker's gonna be in that 66 for
Oh, nice.
NBA. I just realized that. That's gonna go.
Yeah, but I think Tyler Reddick's already proven that 48 car can win. I think he's taking him to victory lane again.
There you go. What do you think, Jay?
I'm gonna go with the man who finished 4th here in Xfinity last year, Mr. Josh Berry.
Hey, you know how much I like that pick. He's my championship pick. So there you go. All right, those are the Xfinity Series picks. Let's just go ahead and do Cup, just because it's here. Nashville Super Speedway last year was one of the most exciting races of the year, in my opinion. But this year
The
Will
racing
be
good.
the first win of the season and the first win
Oh, I know what he's gonna say.
of his career. Just put it up there. Number 8,
Got it.
Tyler Reddick. That's my first pick. My second pick, though, our underdog, not really an underdog, but we have to say it, I guess, because that's how this works. I'm going to go with someone that has had a lot of top tens these past couple of weeks, and they know kind of who I'm thinking because he is my dark horse playoff pick. Give me that 34 of Michael McDowell as my underdog pick, bro. If I get, hey, I'm saying it here. If I get this frickin' pick right, give me 5 points.
All right.
Dog, nah, he's been too consistent. We can't just.
3. Give me 3. Give me 3.
You get
That
two.
better?
You get
No!
two. You get two. Double points is enough.
Yeah, we'll give
This
you
is not
2.
the
We'll give you 2.
500.
I'll write
If
it
you
down.
said like Cody Ware, all right, maybe 3 or 5. Like, but
I want Josh Balicki. No, I want Michael McDowell. Nashville.
I typed it in. If McDowell wins for Tristan, +2.
Here you go.
It's on this. Well, it's not on the actual screen, but it's on mine. So, all right, Daniel.
all right, first pick, I'm going Kyle Busch. He won here at Xfinity last year. I think he will. Wild card. Do I go with my preseason prediction? Even
You
though,
got-
because I feel like it's more out there now than it was at the beginning of the season.
Is it like someone that's having a bad year?
Yeah.
Is it Justin Haley?
No.
No. Is it Cole Custer?
No.
Is it Ty Dillon?
No. It's a bad year that makes me sad.
Oh. Is it someone that makes Daniel sad?
Bubba
Is
Wallace.
it Bubba Wallace? That's what I was
Ah, that's
thinking.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So
It's
who's
Bubba
your first
Wallace.
pick?
Bubba Wallace is gonna be my wild card.
Who's your first pick?
Oh, first pick was Kyle Busch.
Okay.
I think
Toyotas.
if Bubba Wallace's pit crew can not be an atrocity,
No shot, bro.
like that's why it's my wild card. That's why it's my wild card.
You expect a Cup Series team to have a good pit crew? What?
What?
And they are driving for your driver's Bubba Wallace, and you think that he's gonna have a good pit crew? No way!
He's shown pace. He's just had such bad luck, and it's
When I'm
really
driving for
annoying.
23XI and I go to pit lane, no, when I'm leading, that's crazy. But yeah, Jay, who you got?
Okay, so my prediction to win this race is the man who finished second here last year.
Ooh,
Do you guys know who that is?
was it the Showman?
Nope.
No. Was it Willie B?
Nope. He finished
Was it
third.
Denny?
Nope.
Was it Danny? Was it Eric Almirola?
Nope.
No. Was it? Oh, it was Chastain. It was Ross
Yeah.
Chastain. That's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that because I was
Yep.
pulling for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my wild dog. Wild dog.
Wild.
My wild,
Wild
dog.
dog.
Wild dog.
Wild thing.
Okay, sorry. But back to serious. My underdog is actually who Daniels was gonna be is Bubba Wallace because
There you go.
he had a pretty decent run here last year.
Here's the thing. I also almost picked Bubba Wallace for my underdog, but I picked Mikey just because killing it this season.
Plus, you can get
Let's
2
go ahead and
points.
go to. Yeah, that's true. Let's go ahead and go to SRX, South Boston. I'm picking Ryan Newman, as I mentioned earlier. So that's my pick. Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man. Hello, Newman.
Yes, sir.
Dan, who you got over there?
I'm thinking, because I'm thinking if I want to go a weird one, or I'm thinking if I want to go the easy answer.
He's probably gonna go Bobby Labonte.
No, I'm going the easy answer. I'm going Tony Stewart.
Hey, I went the easy answer last time, and he didn't have an incredible race. So.
Yeah, well, you're not winning this predictions. You're just simply not built different.
If Michael McDowell wins this weekend, I get double points, and you have to buy me McDonald's.
Ooh.
Do we have a deal?
No,
No.
I don't think so. You only get so much pull around here, bubby boy.
My pick is Bobby Labonte. So
Dope.
Also,
Dope.
Group pick.
Group pick.
Wait. What race are we doing group pick for?
Why do I feel like I want to do Xfinity?
Ah,
Yeah, I want to do
Let's go,
Xfinity.
yeah.
Xfinity series. Let's go through. Group pick. Can't be anyone that we all picked.
Hold on, I'm thinking.
Can we do it? Can we make it Trevor Bayne, please?
Yes.
Pretty,
Yes.
please.
I was gonna say Riley Herbst, but
No.
No,
works.
Trevor Bayne.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. No.
Can we pretty please make it Trevor Bayne? Yeah, Trevor Bayne is our group pick this week. That'd be a dope win. Oh my god, I'd cry.
I'm sorry, Daniel, but no.
I would cry.
it's all good.
I would cry. If Trevor
Well, now if Riley Herbst wins now Tristan owes me McDonald's.
Oh.
No.
All
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go back to the main screen. We have a very special announcement. Okay, so just wanted to let you guys know that we are going to more races. Let's go. Okay, first one we're going to is actually the next IndyCar race, Mid-Ohio. It's going to be awesome. July 3rd, we will be there all day long. Just text us. We'll probably just be in the fan zone. So, like, you can just, like, come hang out with us. We bought general admission tickets, so it's going to be a good time. Then, next races we're going to go to are the Indy weekend for the GPs. First race we're going to be at is Trucks at IRP on July 29th. That's going to be awesome. That's a Friday night. My first truck race at IRP. I'm super excited. Then we're going to be at IndyCar and Xfinity on July 30th. And then the Cup race on July 31st. It is going to be an amazing weekend. Those are our races for July coming up. No races in June. We took a month off. But it's going to be awesome. Maybe we'll run into some of our friends. It'll be a super good time. Check out our social medias because we post where we are. Like, we had people come up to us last time that were like, hey, and we stay at places. We go to places to, like, meet you guys, and, like, some of you guys like to come meet us. So, just saying. Had a nice little meet and greet in the garage area at IMS last time, so that was pretty lit. But go ahead, just let us know if you guys are going to be at Mid-Ohio or at any of the races at the end of July at IRP, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's going to be awesome. What's the race you're looking forward to the most out of those four? Because I'm looking forward to Mid-Ohio the most.
I was gonna say Mid-Ohio.
Probably Mid-Ohio. Yeah, probably Mid-Ohio,
I've
honestly.
never seen a race outside of the state of Indiana
Daniel.
that I'm aware of.
I may be
Poor
going
Daniel.
to Michigan this year, so.
Hey, if you're going to Michigan, I'm going to Michigan,
Okay.
dude. I want to go. I'll tag along for Michigan. Just give me the weekend.
Bet. It's
Yeah,
Dude,
but
August
if I
7th
low-key, you know what
or
race I
something.
want to go to if we can make it happen?
Daytona.
No, I was gonna say Nashville.
Yes.
IndyCar.
Oh, I was like,
No,
That's this
Indy.
weekend. That's this weekend.
I can't go this weekend to Nashville. Oh, by the way.
I will be out of town for about a week,
Oh,
which
that's
leads
right.
us into
By
our
the way,
next announcement.
Daniel Chaney will not be on the show next week, going to vacation. We have a very special guest that is going to be guest hosting on the show. Not going to tell you guys who that is yet.
You get rid of one person named D and
Yeah.
replace it with someone else named D. I will say that.
Yeah, it's going to be a really cool guest host on the show. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. That he's it's very special host and a personal friend of the
He's
show.
a very
They-
insightful person on IndyCar.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
He's very
I'm
insightful.
dressed like them right now.
Yeah, he's very insightful. He's gonna be dope. But yeah, he's gonna be on the show next week.
As a co-host, not just
As a
guest.
co-host, as not a guest, as a co-host. It's gonna be awesome, and that's a big announcement. But also, boys, this weekend is a very special weekend for Tristan Grider. Cause play the siren! I'm turning 21 this weekend, baby, and it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
So, I might be super tired. Actually, I'll probably be fine, but I will not just be sipping on water anymore during the show. So it'll be exciting.
Buddy. Okay, buddy.
I'm messing with y'all.
I'm
Yeah, but I'm turning 21, so that's kind of just a personal thing. I'm excited about that. So
Oh yeah.
all of our birthdays are like, my birthday's the only summer one. Their birthdays are in the winter time. So like,
We're
Jay's
built different, bro.
Daniel's is in January. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, super exciting stuff coming up on the show. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Very special guest host joining the show. Daniel Chaney is gonna kiss us goodbye for a week, but it's okay.
I love you all.
But yeah, so make sure you guys watch this weekend, South Boston and Nashville. It's gonna be some great races. Signing off for Daniel Chaney and Justin Cox, my name is Tristan Grider of the Indy Boys Racing Podcast for Burnout Sports. Follow us on all our social medias. They're down below. Subscribe to the channel. You know what's up. Anyway, he's over here lip syncing and stuff. Have a good one, guys. Peace.